everyone, I hope all is well, and it's very glad to see you again through this video in which I'm exposing to you some of the facts lived and faced by the fair gender around here in the third world environment, in which you might think there have been some improvements that your minds might mostly mistake for the idea of the availability of makeup, shoes, high-level clothes stores that are usually destined for the female elites. But if I were to describe the life of every female coming from a conservative middle-class family and traditional society that only believes that girls were born to literally wake up, do the baking in the early morning, I would definitely describe it as a complicated life. A life in which, my dear girl, you have to take a deep breath, like every time, and keep running for miles to catch the sniff of your freedom, which is also, unfortunately, the same moment you have to make sure you're grabbed back by their fists again to the same nightmare as if nothing happened. And that's how the story goes on and on and on. You would keep hiding yourself from a reality that you can't stand, being ultra ambitious in a secret, having a fun in a secret, adopting a sort of a mentality in a secret, and trying to do all things that men are allowed to do, nobody can criticize them for, in a secret, things that you have no right to do besides your brother. However, you end up doing them because simply you think that man's actions have become a real embodiment of tyranny, actions that, if so to speak, cross the borders due to man's very unfair, exaggerated freedom that our culture and society gives a total permission for them to celebrate, besides the nature that they can never ever be judged for anything wrong they can do, starting from the little things to the bigger ones, under the excuse of it as a male action. So it's perhaps the reason why we can witness females getting multiply raped and sexually harassed on the street as if it's completely normal. A culture in which we are supposed to shut our mouths, making sure that we are completely open for judgments and insults. It's perhaps the reason why we can witness the perversity of a young man and the fact of his having too many relationships with too many girls, while his sister keeps herself undercover pretending to be this forever innocent angel that makes no mistakes in order not to lose her life in the end of her brother. It's also perhaps the reason why we can witness or notice males having the right to get a rebel, slamming the doors before our eyes, to experience all the vices while we have no choice but to keep ourselves silent, folding their clothes and cleaning their messy tables. And to make the situation worse, this is officially allowed by parents in the first place. Especially the traditional, illiterate, ignorant ones who usually have this inflexibility towards females that they often end up using their sons as if, so to speak, weapons against their daughters for stupid biological reasons. But they don't know that the fact of severely taming their girls while setting boys completely free on the other side can lead to even far dangerous consequences, more they can ever imagine, more than they can ever imagine or expect. Most of these consequences is the example of girls doing drugs in secret, taking off their hijabs and turning themselves in the picture, putting themselves in the picture of complete whores on their ways to school. An example that I've personally witnessed for so many times. And most of all, resorting to suicide, especially when the situation is incredibly overwhelming, too much pressure, no one to support, easing it off. So please, do understand that your daughters or your girls do already suffer from dozens of things. Things they don't necessarily have to tell you, but you have to understand them anyway. Try to approach them, because they are really, really in need of your support, of your affection, of your good, fair treatment, so as not to resort to anyone out there that would end up exploiting them. And again, don't tame your daughters unless you tame your sons, because you just have no idea, like no idea what they practice on other people's daughters out there. They are literally the reason for the sufferance of millions of girls. This is a message to all the parents. Now this is for you, my dear girl. Which, let me start by saying, since you are in such an environment that bears, if so to speak, a natural hatred for you, especially within a family, and especially within a family that is much proud of you holding a sweeper and not a book. Freedom, survival, glory, and success are maybe still a long way up to catch. That you have to make a double effort and a double struggle. And this double struggle can only be realized if you don't keep yourself seduced by the idea of having a nice wedding in the first place, by the idea or by the fact of tying yourself down to someone, giving them all the time in the world while he is not worth it, by the fact or by the idea of waiting for them to knock at your door, liberating you, while he will ever end up doing is throwing you in a literal hell of restrictions. By the idea of getting married, having a children, and all such kind of things. Because this is not really something to be proud of. This is not really strong achievement. Success is better than sex. is better than marriage, is better than anything else. And you will understand this. You understand this only when you experience it. And trust me, experience success and glory will make you feel powerful. That you will need new man. You become a man yourself. You will need new man to satisfy you. Man will feel bound to respect you at that point. But in order to get to that level, you will have to struggle with too many things, with too many ones that can even include your sister herself. But trust me, being aware of this and putting your awareness into an action or to actions is much better than deceiving yourself by accumulating peace or by being comfortable in accumulating peace. So please take this piece of advice from me. Ride or die, and the choice is yours. Good luck with that.